Hey guys, my name is Rainday and welcome back to How to Play. Last week we heated things up with Bomb King, but this week we're going to cool things down with Evie, the Winter Witch. Alright, first up, let's talk about Evie's strengths. Evie is the quintessential flanker. Her mobility is unparalleled in Paladins as she has so many tools to get in and get out of a fight. She excels at taking down low health targets quickly and frustrating the enemy team by having high survivability through a ton of escape skills that allow her to quickly leave an engagement that turns the wrong way. Her ultimate can also serve as a pretty good setup ultimate to allow AoE champions to take advantage of grouped up targets. Combine an Evie ult with a toxic time bomb from Sky, GG. Another strength of Evie's, in my opinion, is that she's got a high skill cap. She's a champion who can flank the best out of them all, but requires a lot of practice, patience, and understanding of her unique and frequent mobility skills to maximize her play. She can be a challenge for even the best of Paladins professional players, but a marvel of fast-paced, frenetic fun when used correctly. She's also very combo heavy in terms of achieving her maximum damage, which means each game with Evie has the potential to have some pretty sweet plays. Now that we've covered her strengths, let's go into the skills section to see what this Winter Witch brings into the realm. Evie's left mouse button is called Ice Staff, and of course, it shoots ice. Now, as you would expect of something icy and cold, that projectile is rather slow, and this means Evie is a champion best played in close quarters. Trying to hit someone with this from far away is not the best use of your time, unless they are a stationary target. Airborne targets, however, are very hard to tackle as Evie, and though it can be done, you're typically better off biding your time until they're back on the ground. Ice Staff also hits in an AoE around the blast, which means, like Pip, getting above your target and shooting down will increase your chances of damaging your enemies significantly. Now, Evie's right mouse button is called Ice Block. This skill has two components. One, it provides Evie with damage immunity for 3 seconds and can be cancelled by pressing your right mouse button again. This is a great stall tactic as it allows your other skills to get closer to being off cooldown, oftentimes allowing you to escape with another skill once Ice Block is finished. It's frustrating to see an Evie blink in, almost die, Ice Block, then blink and soar out with only a fraction of her health, but it happens all the time. 2, the second aspect of this skill is that the longer Evie remains in her ice block, a frigid area expands around her, and those caught in it when she emerges from the ice are slowed and take bonus damage from her ice staff projectiles. This damage can add up quickly, so try to time your frigid fields so that they hit your main target. Evie's Q ability is called Blink, and this admittedly is where things get fun. She can teleport a distance and be literally on a target, hitting them with damage before they know it. She gains bonus damage after teleporting for a period of time, and you may also teleport during Ice Block. That's where we get Evie's bread and butter, dream team, cream of the crop, jumbo dikembe matumbo combo. You can preemptively Ice Block, and as the area expands, turn around and look for the target you want to blink on. Before Ice Block ends, you can blink onto the target, slowing them and thus giving Evie double bonus damage. Because the target is slowed, it will also make them easier to hit, giving you that sweet, sweet damage that much easier. Honestly, Evie would be considered a mobile champion in Paladins if she just had Blink, but her F skill is what puts her into the category of the most mobile champion in Paladins to date. Her F skill is called Soar, and it's her getting to do what witches do best, and that's ride a broom. Evie's Soar is a great tool for moving around, and she has complete freedom to maneuver in the air. This is a pretty great movement skill in general, considering that she can also fire her ice staff while soaring, but this on top of her blink makes her an absolute terror to track down. Now lastly, Ice Storm is Evie's ultimate ability, and it's essentially a massive, slowly moving area of effect slow and cripple to enemies who are caught inside. It also does damage, but the cripple is the most important aspect here, as it means anyone in the storm can't use their movement skills to get out. Have trouble taking down a Drogos or airborne Androxus? Catch them on the ground with Ice Storm, and they simply can't escape. This ultimate is also really good at setting up other ultimates that require clumped up enemies to work well. For instance, Sky's Time Bomb is much more reliable when placed on enemies who are crippled, as they can't get out of line of sight fast enough before it takes effect. Now that we've talked about her skills, let's move on into Evie's loadouts. So Evie's basic deck grants you some healing as well as some crowd control immunity and slightly increased blink distance, which can all be very valuable in your games. However, the loadout I run and see many professional players running, like Stolzy from Match Point, ends up centering around increasing Evie's mobility over anything else. It's all about them fat cooldowns, baby! As you can see here, this loadout is all about maximizing your mobility and allowing you to blink, ice block, soar, blink, ice block, and soar on repeat. Obviously, you'll be attacking enemies in between that chain, but right when you're done or feel like you're in the danger zone, you can ice block, blink, and soar back to safety. Your mobility is your greatest weapon, and this loadout gives you as much of it as possible. Now, there are a lot of ways to build Evie, and this is not set in stone, but this is what I enjoy, and this is currently what's popular. Of course, I encourage all of you to get into the habit of building your own loadouts with each champion you play, as I find it a very valuable method of learning a champion's inherent strengths. Now that we've covered the loadouts, it's time for tips and tricks. Number 1. It's important to realize that the best Evies are the ones that never stop moving. There is always something to do, somewhere to go, and a backline to harass. The common thing I notice with newer Evies is their inability to achieve this constant state of movement, and so the greatest advice I can give to you all watching is just to practice always doing something. It's a great habit in FPS shooters to continually be moving or doing something, even if it's surveying the battlefield and looking around for angles enemies may approach, or setting up an ambush. This will improve your overall success in Paladins, not just when playing Evie. Number 2, get good at ice blocking. Now, this skill is huge in saving your life, buying you invulnerability and a chance for your other skills to come off cooldown. However, if you don't use it in time, with Evie's low health, she will be dropped very quickly by nearly every champion in the game. Having split-second reactions is tough as an Evie, or for any game, and should only be left for the pros, but being able to anticipate when to ice block can often allow that reaction to be a premeditated maneuver that helps you achieve success. If you get pulled by an enemy or a huge AoE damage ultimate begins, training yourself to anticipate ice blocking will make it less of a reaction and more of just the execution of your strategy when you play Evie. I play Evie a lot, and learning to ice block more frequently and faster than I had done originally has saved my life countless times and made me a much better Evie player. My last tip is probably the most important, and it's that staying alive should be your number 1 priority. Getting kills is your second. But wait, Rainday, isn't she supposed to kill backline? Just hear me out. The key to Evie is her mobility, and because of her strong damage output as well, she has to be respected. She garners the attention of the enemy team as long as she's alive, and they have to be wary of her, which means they fight your other teammates a lot less effectively. Staying as a backline presence, harassing with damage can often be more impactful than getting kills, since the time she makes enemies spend hunting her down and not focusing on the objectives can allow your teammates to shine. When you die, that all goes out the window. So oftentimes, I've found it better to simply ice block and blink to safety, even if the enemy I'm attacking is at low health, and live to fight another day. Alright everybody, that's going to do it for this How to Play episode on Evie. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave a like and let us know what you enjoyed about it in the comment section below. Also, if you have any Evie tips that weren't mentioned in the video, please comment those as well to help your fellow members in the realm. If you want to subscribe to the channel, that's the best way to stay tuned to all of the Paladins game content. And of course, if you want more Rain Day, you can find the link to my channel in the description below.